Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm in this empty parking lot because I would like to test a few things on my RC car, and I've prepared this small truck. So I had a quite good RC rally last time. As you saw, I was able to win 2 stages when I put new tires. And the only thing that I changed in my RC model was to build, let's say, this, I call it bridge, that links this upper part of the chassis, making the front more rigid, because I had, let's say, an issue that this part was quite flexible. The goal is to have a, let's say, more sturdy chassis, but also a more precise and aggressive front. I already did a few test runs here, and the first thing that I already noticed is that in braking, the model is much more consistent. The braking, it feels more effective, and also entering into the corners, the car feels more precise. So maybe this is the key in order to regain the few seconds that I feel I've lost during these 2 years driving with a flexible chassis. Another thing that I would like to test today, let's see if I will have the time, is the central differential. I don't think that I'm going to use it in the next race, because the model right now is performing very well. But right now, since the last event, I have a harder differential oil in the rear, 5000, and a lighter on the front, 2000. This in order to have, let's say, a model that rotates in a faster way. And it's a bit harder to drive a model like that, because the rear on power it's quite aggressive. It feels like it wants to oversteer. And as usual, guys, if you are beginners, remember, harder oil in the front and lighter in the rear in order to have a more drivable and easier to drive RC Rally model. Okay, let me assemble everything. I'm also trying to add some punch to have a bit of more aggressive model. And let's do some test runs here. And in the comment section, I would like to know your opinion, how you see my model now with these changes that I made. So I'm so interested to hear in the comment section your opinion. And in the first part of this test, I'm going to drive a few runs here with this setup, and then I'm going to add the central differential. If you are wondering, 8000 gradation of oil, so 2, 8, 5, and let's see how it's going to behave. Meanwhile, I'm assembling everything, guys. A reminder to please leave a like and of course subscribe in order to support my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate your support. Okay, let's go. It's a different way of driving. It drives more, let's say, using the rear. So in order to close the corners, I need to add the power. Okay, now let's add a bit of steering angle from 93% to 98%. Okay, let's change the battery. Let's put the central differential and let's see how the behavior is going to change. By the way, I'm quite satisfied about how it drives. Of course, here I'm just, let's say, driving in a freeway, testing the model to the limit and trying to understand how it performs under stress. Okay, I'm quite satisfied. The model behaves in a quite good way. As you saw, it's a completely different way of driving. I'm having, yes, a bit of understeer, but it's also because this tarmac it's quite slippery, and as usually I'm running with worn out tires. I'm going to put brand new tires right before the next event, and in general for this kind of conditions the model is behaving in a good way. And as you saw, this kind of setup requires a different way of driving. When you have understeer, when you give a bit of power, the model rotates. Now what I want to do, I've put the central differential because I would like to see how it behaves, how it accelerates, and if this central differential is going to allow me to accelerate more and before exiting a corner. I don't know if I'm going to use it in the next RC rally because I don't want to change too much things at once, and let's see if we will be competitive. By the way, let's test now the central differential. It feels good, honestly. If I'm not too aggressive, the model is rotating in a good way. It's also accelerating in a quite good way. I need to be careful to don't lose the rear. But in general it feels good. Okay, let's try a more effective driving style. Let's move a bit further away from this obstacle. Okay, and of course I'm going to simulate a stage. So not fast corners, but just going around these cones. I really like how it drives because I feel the model is rotating in a good way. Let's do a test. I'm going to adjust a bit the power, 10% less. Together with you at home, I'm going to rewatch this video in order to understand more about the behavior of this model. I put again the cones in a proper place in order to simulate a track. So let's put again the power at 100%, and I'm going to try to drive in a clean way. Okay, I have the worn out tires, but even off power the model is rotating in a very nice way, and maybe in the upcoming event I'm going to do a few stages with the central differential and few stages without. Honestly, I took together with me today the central differential because I had the idea, let's say, to try to limit the power to the rear wheels because of the higher gradation of oil in the differential that I'm using. And I'm surprised because the model behaves in a very interesting way, and it's nice to drive. Of course, I was a bit aggressive. I tried to push over the limit the model in order to understand how it behaves, and keep in mind that I'm driving with worn out tires, almost no grip on the rear end at all. I will need to think a bit before the next race. It's going to be next Sunday. Let's say a good way to start this race would be without the central differential, and maybe after the first two stages I'm going to put it, and let's see. But it's a bit of strategy here. I was already fast 1 week ago with this setup without the central differential, using the slippery clutch, and in the championship SLR where I'm going to take part, I need to make points, I need to win, and I don't think that I'm in the position to test new things. So I need to think a bit. Let me know what you think about today's test and how the model behaves with the central differential with the split clutch. And thank you for staying with me, thank you for supporting my channel, and see you next week for a new video. Ciao!